Hello and welcome back to D&D with Dummies Campaign 1, The Marked Ones. Last week, the party had a bit of an interesting time. They were escorted up to a volcano by a tribe of snake people known as the Yuan-Ti. Inside the volcano, they met a god named Gaius. Gaius was not what they expected, and set them free, giving them safe passage towards their ship and the help of a race of lizard folk. On the journey back to the ship, a reveal occurred. It was revealed that for an indeterminate amount of time, their cleric Ilona was inhabited by her mother, Selra, the archdevil, the lord of the eighth circle of the hells. Selra offered Ilona a choice. A choice between her lost ex-lover, I guess you would call him, one of the party members, Tarvis, and her younger brother figure, Vareth. During the combat in which ensued, Ilona pleaded to the moon god Orbison for his assistance, and received silence in return. Vareth was taken away by the Fae, and in a split-second decision, Ilona chose Tarvis above Valis, banishing him into a safe pocket plane. Selra got what she wanted, and left, promising that she would be seen again.
Bitch.
We pick back up today with Tarvis. Now, Tarvis.
Yep.
You are currently still banished. You will be for the next minute or so.
Alright.
Let me just find the right document really quick. I have so many documents open, it's kind of ridiculous. So, Tarvis, what you are seeing here is you are floating in a sort of purple dream-like haze. And you immediately feel this deep sadness straight to your core. But it quickly subsides into an immense warmth. The type of warmth where you feel your eyes droop, as though you're tired. But it's cozy, it's a nice tired. Around you there are floating land masses, and they're covered in various unrecognizable flora and some strange creatures stalking around. But what stands out most are these large, willow-like trees, with purplish-grey bark and dark blue leaves that transition to dark purple. And there are waterfalls spilling into the void. You hear lightning crackle off in the far distance. And you look to the sky, and the stars and the moon are shining brightly. In the far distance there is another one of these islands. But this one is much larger than the ones close to you, and has some sort of construction on it. Dark blocks are floating into place, and it looks like it's building some sort of temple. Glass pieces of white, blue, and purple, they capture and reflect the light of the moon and the lightning emitting rays of glorious hues. And faintly you hear your mother singing lullabies to you, as she did when you were a child. The other thing you hear is Ilona's voice quietly, almost at the edge of your consciousness, whispering over and over and over and over, "Help me," and "I'm sorry." And then you feel the rush around you as you are pulled back to the material plane, into the chaos and aftermath of Selra's exit. And at this point, Tarvis suddenly appears in amongst you all.
As I will reappear, I know, prepped for a fight. Magic, sword drawn, and yeah.
You're ready to go.
Yeah. What? Where'd they go? What happened?
Left. They left as soon as Sarah got what she wanted from Ilona.
What did she want?
She put Ilona in a very awkward, well, I wouldn't say awkward, but very difficult situation. She basically had to choose between yourself, Valis, and Vareth.
Right, and wait, where, Ilona, did you send me to wherever that was?
She doesn't say anything. She's just on her hands and knees, staring at the ground, her white hair splashed with blood. She's just shaking.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can someone explain to me why an archdevil just came out of Ilona? Like, can we please talk about this thing? Cause I'm not quite understanding. Since when there's an archdevil in Ilona? Like,
You heard the
Yeah.
speech, Celadrin. You heard what happened.
all I heard was that Ilona apparently hates us, wants to kill me. That's all I know. Like, I don't know when the fucking archdevil appeared.
It was my fault. When we were at Ravenwater, and I said I was going off to pray. I had been collecting everything I needed to make a circle, take myself back to the house. I wanted to save Alice, but I didn't even get there. She knew before I'd even finished the chant.
You try to, on your own, go into the hells
Yeah, that's...
without telling us?
I thought I could do it without her knowing. I had the scrolls from Umbra, I had invisibility potions, I had it planned out.
Why
You can
didn't
only
you
get
tell us,
yourself
Ilona?
I didn't drag you into it, and I didn't want to go to Chasmmire without Valis. I couldn't face Connell, I couldn't face all of them without him.
So you decide to tick off the being that you've been trying not to engage with for so long?
She has left me alone. For 14 years, I didn't think she was watching me. But she knew as soon as I started.
Okay, so just to get this straight, you decided to betray us, open a portal to hell to save a guy who's been missing for I don't know how many years, and then just decided that that was all right. Like, uh, what about that made sense?
I wouldn't necessarily call it a frail. Just
He's right.
Poor planning.
I
and
should have
poor
told you.
form.
I wasn't thinking.
you know we would have helped you, right?
But it isn't your problem. It was my fault that Valos was taken.
Ilona, the Jotun brothers, Adius, that wasn't your problem.
Different. I
It
knew we
doesn't
could take
matter.
them.
It doesn't matter. It might be different, but it doesn't matter. We would have helped, regardless of the situation.
I don't know. I suppose there's more devil in you than we expected.
What?
Wow.
So
That was rough.
While we're talking about it, where the hell was your god? You keep preaching about Orbison, and I don't see the guy showing up anywhere. Like,
Hey,
I
what?
have
hey,
no god.
stop it. You're clearly making things.
Ilona is
annoying.
gonna rip off her moonstone necklace and throw it into the woods.
That wasn't.
Okay, Saturn is just gonna scoff, turn around, and walk into the forest. And like blend into the shadows and be like, I'm gonna head back to the ship because I actually have a responsibility there. I'll see you there, and just disappears into the darkness of the forest.
Right.
Well, this should be interesting. I'm gonna take Xander and Darren and go find these supposed escorts of ours. Alona, pick up the damn necklace. Don't throw your faith away so damn quickly. And I will turn and walk off into the forest with Darren and Xander and tow, if that's right, do you?
Yep, all good.
Ilona, how much of what your mother said was true?
Some of it. Not all, at least. Don't think so. I'm having a hard time sorting out my mind right now. I was
Then-
stuck inside my head for months. I saw everything. I witnessed everything and I could do nothing to stop it. You don't know what she did to me at night.
Look, I can't claim to know, Ilona. But please try just the truth. Like,
I think you should all go without me. I'll find some other way off this island.
That's not happening.
you're coming with us.
Do you seriously still trust me? After everything she said, and everything that was true, I did try to go back to the Hells. I let her inside of me. What is there about me to trust anymore? I let Barrett.
This pure emotion means that you care about people, and you care about, obviously in this case, Vagreth and Tarvis quite a bit. It's enough for us to trust you still, even after the misconceptions you were showing. It's enough.
Fine,
Look,
but you at least have to put me in the prison or something. I don't know what the word is.
Thimble is gonna come over and sit on your head and start just patting your head and being like, Lona, it's okay. It's fine. He's been there once before. He'll be fine.
My fault.
that's not just your
And now
fault.
I have two people that I have to save. But I'm gonna put her hands out. You can't trust me yet. You should bind me and leave me on the boat. Make sure that I can't do anything for the moment. I don't know how much of my mind is still my own.
Look, if you wanna. Look, I'm not going to tie you up.
Please. It's the only way I'm getting on that boat.
Ilona, it's okay. No one judges you. You made your choice.
wish you just could have. You didn't even tell any of us.
Tarvis, did you tell us about the posters?
That
Soldan, who did you tell about the fire?
I've only told this group, and that's it. I think what I think Selwood.
Ah. When did you tell us about the fire?
You guys have known I haven't light fire for a long time.
But you only told people one at a time. You didn't let us all know.
No,
You let the lava monster come out before you let everyone know. We all have a past.
Now is not the time for my problems.
It's always time for someone's problems.
Simple, how do we get Vareth back?
That's an interesting question. I think we have to go to Chasmmire. It's the place where the Feywild's closest. You'd know all about that, wouldn't you? The World Scar.
I don't want to go back there.
Well, if you want Vareth, you have to make a choice.
He'll never forgive me.
Hey, it'll be a blink of an eye for him there, just like it was last time.
I'm still not getting on that boat without being bound. What if she still left a back door in or something?
oh, we know to at least look out for changes in your personality now. More drastic. I doubt she will be as subtle in the future.
I'm really sorry. I know it doesn't mean much, but I am.
Just the truth moving forward, Ilona.
Okay. I'm not
Now
getting
come
my
on.
necklace though.
Sorry?
I'm not getting my necklace from the woods. I don't want it anymore.
Why not?
I think for the first time, I don't want someone looming over me. I don't want to have to owe someone more powerful than me anything. And I have
understand that.
done so much for him. They couldn't even say no.
Ilona, from everything I've seen of your relationship with Orbison, it never seemed as if he was demanding anything of you.
The only reason he let me out the hells was I made a deal with him. I had to promise, follow him, and be faithful. And in response, he would set me free. But I haven't had a moment of freedom since I've left. Nothing has changed. I'm exactly where I was 14 years ago.
Alright. I'll try find it, the necklace.
I'm just gonna walk towards the ship.
Investigation check if you don't try and find it.
8.
Not enough. You spend the next 5 minutes searching around in the underbrush close by the shore, and you find a small pebble, and you think it's it, and it's not.
Right, I'll head back to the ship as well then.
It takes you all an hour and a half to get back to the ship. You find Celadrin, Umbra, Darren, and Xander on the ship waiting for you, and some of the crewmen have a set of shackles waiting.
You sure about this, Ilona?
I am.
Alright.
I give my arms out.
They bind your hands and shackle you to the mast.
Let's get going.
Well,
It's been far
how
too
have the
long on this
repair?
island.
Well, how have the repairs come, Tarvis? They've been away for quite a while, but I don't think that time would have been sufficient.
Alright. I'll turn to the crew and just ask them if how the repair's going.
The burly figure of Honchman, Darius Honch, to those who don't know him, walks up to you. So, most of the repairs are done, but we got still a few more left to do. Take us another day, then we're good to set sail. We'll be keeping
Right.
rotating watches. No other people have gone missing in your absence. We should be all good.
That's good. But yes, moving forward, no one is to go into the forest without a large number of people going with them.
He nods, gives you a half salute, and turns away and barks some orders to the rest of the crew. Now, at this point, it is getting dark. It's just past sunset.
Well, I'm going to set it up so that we have torches set up on the beach, and there is no easy way to climb up to the ship, the deck of the ship.
I'm about to say the exact same thing. I'll join you and help you with that.
That does cut down on time. It will take you only about 5 minutes to set that up.
Just enough so
Thimble's
that
gonna follow Umbra.
You'll need something, Thimble.
Just watching.
Watching.
Yes,
Like you
Umbra.
always do.
Just watching.
For what?
How are you going, Umbra?
Depends on your definition of going.
You seem a little tired.
That's a word for it. That is indeed a word.
It is.
We can have this conversation at a later date. But know that I need to discuss a few things with you, Thimble.
Of course. Before we start that, let's double check something. You are low bad scion, aren't you?
I am.
What needs to happen from here on out, Umbra? You need to make sure you're doing your job to him. Neither of us want to go back this early.
No, you're not wrong there, Thimble. I already owe another debt which needs to be paid. So, what might you suggest? Since you are a watcher, someone who seems to see a lot, but doesn't actually say much.
I
Care
normally
to
don't,
enlighten me?
but someone almost got us in trouble. And I don't want to get in trouble just yet. It's been a good holiday. What needs to happen from here on out is simple. We need to work together. If I tell you
No.
to do something, you need to do it.
Are
Is
you
that okay?
sure about Are you sure about that, my
Thimble's just gonna deadpan to you. He's just gonna slowly turn his head down and goes, Umbra, are you getting a little mad?
Madness is something that I'm accustomed to. And yes, I feel its touch again. And he will turn his head to match yours. I have a few things I need to work through. Though I wanted one thing clear, Thimble. I do not work for you. If we are to do this quote unquote work together, we do not give each other order. We work together. For the last however many damn months we've been going through, I haven't had to serve someone. I don't particularly want to do it again after everything that has happened. If you get my meaning as well.
It's okay, Umbra. You're doing what he wants you to without you knowing it. Let's work together.
Sounds good. Now, my question for you, my dear little friend, how did you know them? How I never got to speak much to Vareth about your origins and play and all this. Even in our time cooking, cleaning, talking, and tending those gardens, I never once got the opportunity to ask. How do you know all of our, let's say, higher echelon companions, compatriots?
Some of us didn't spend our time in a cave.
Mm, And what might be your connection? Humble one who had to live in a cave for so long with the Lord of Decay.
I have no connection. Not as far as I'm concerned. As much connection as I have with the rest of the Fey race. You
Hmm.
just keep on working. I'll continue to watch.
Can I insight check Thimble?
Of course, roll a insight check. There's
That'll
a
be a 10
10.
and a
Thimble, if you're being truthful or deceiving, roll whichever one you feel is necessary. And you're welcome to roll it to me if you don't want it being known. Okay. Thimble is really hard to read right now. There's something off putting about the grim stone face of this usually very happy and outgoing, almost childlike appearance. But he's not giving you anything to work with right now.
Must be that bit of touch. Usually I can read people better. Oh well. And that crooked smile will now just turn as he tilts his head. So Thimble, where will he be, do you think?
He'll be where he belongs.
Under her thumb again?
Wherever Caithwis is. And not to be rude to Caithwis, but I don't know how long she'll last. Eventually, he'll break just like you did. They always do.
I don't think that's a fair comparison. I was already broken when I went there.
And you assume
But
a child cannot be broken?
I think that one has a bit more resolve. especially compared to that pathetic version that we saw with Silver. I think Vareth will last a bit longer this time.
Then we must
But-
be quick. We must get to
Oh.
Chasmmire. We should work together to force the group to go.
Why Chasmmire, Thimble?
Chasmmire is where the world scar is. Not all of us have a proclivity to travel. Not all of us are Pedwar. Some of us need a little boost.
You make a valid point. Though, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why push the objective when we know for a fact there's a portal not too far from our current location? And probably, well, if I put it this way, easier access to where we need to go. I know you don't want to go, you like your holiday. I'm liking my holiday. But couldn't we at least try to go get him quicker?
I'm not quite sure of a closer portal. Didn't know there was one.
Unless I'm muddling up a few things. You know, us broken and mad toys. Well, anyway. I'll follow your lead with this. So, Thimble,
Yes.
what is your plan for this group?
I think it's much more important that we help Ilona.
In what way?
I think we need to go to the hills.
Oh,
We need to get her boy toy back.
why do we need to get the boy toy back when the boy toy already proved broken? I didn't know you were in the business of fixing broken things.
Simply a romantic.
You are romantic. No, we, that realm, don't view romance as a simple, oh, love. No. There was an end game here, there's a ploy, there is another side, another perspective. So, I'll leave it with you, but I'm curious to see where we go. But,
It's been too long.
well,
We have to get back to the ship.
you're right, we shouldn't dawdle. Especially if we may have some other things to do. And Umbra will just start walking off, just as if he trailed off in a random thought.
I'll be waiting at the top of the ship, like to pull the ladder back up.
Marvis, is there anything else we need? Defensive position wise. We still have a few spells on offer that we could create some natural defenses if needed.
Look, we probably not a bad idea. And just make sure we have people keeping an eye out.
I can organize a bit of a watch. I'll stay out as well, just at least for the first cycle.
Just quickly, what was taking you and Thimble so long to set up your half of the torches?
Oh, I'm sorry, my friend. We got lost in conversation about, well, we were splitting up some old war stories, so to speak.
Right.
Thimble knew the Fae that was there and reminded me of them. And then we discussed a few things going forward, especially around just what we're going to do with Vareth's portion of work around the ship and Vareth in general. We're worried about him, and we're hoping he will survive. Knowing what we know, that is.
We have a tendency to make powerful enemies, don't we?
Oh, undoubtedly. I
Right,
think there
so-
is. Oh, yes, after
Yeah.
you.
No, you go.
Well, I think there's definitely a certain je ne sais quoi, something as they would say in the Feywind, certain quality that this group has. We either attract gods, trouble, bit of death, misfortune, but we have a fun time doing it. So at least we have that. I'll pat Humber pats Tarvis on the back as he does.
Well, we'll need to plan on how we're going to get Vareth back.
I discussed it with Thimble. There's a couple of plans we could do, but we may not be able to do much from here. It really depends on where we go next.
Well, let's hope these Wildwood Sentinels know a bit more about this stuff than we do.
Oh, well, you know, their order is old, isn't it? Obvious.
I
We
don't
should
know
know
too
something.
much about it myself.
Oh, well, at least we'll have a learning experience.
Yeah.
But I think there is definitely a tension in the air. We might need to air that sooner rather than later, especially the tension between both yourself and Ilona, whatever that may be to you now.
Right now isn't the time for that. Well, bit of broken trust, and she's in a bit too much of a self-depreciating mindset. To get too much of a conversation going at the moment.
No, I agree. As he looks over at Ilona chained to the pole. Yeah. Well, it was bound to happen sooner or later. We all break at some point, and her mind has been weighing on her for a while. So, all should be well. Obviously, if you pull up. Ooh, yes. Oh,
Yeah, Thimble doesn't need
oh,
this, does he?
he can fly. He can put in a bit of effort every now and then.
Yeah, I'll pull the ladder up.
Above table DM. Remember how I spoke to you earlier on about using a couple of spells in conjunction to create a barrier?
Yes. Back in
Am I able to do that?
Merca. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. I will do so. 1 third level, 1 second level, and 1 first level.
Sure. Makes a fairly decent barrier, but it does take you a while to create.
That's okay.
I'll also make sure that there's always at least like 4 crew members helping whichever players are on watch.
Okay. So advantage
Specifically
on
so that-
whatever perception checks.
Yeah.
And it also lowers the DC with that many eyes. So.
Yeah.
Should have been formed.
Alright. Well, unless anyone has anything to do before the long rest, I guess you should decide who's
Make
taking
sure
what watches.
I'll quickly make sure everyone gets fed, because been a hectic been a hectic little bit for us.
It has been. It's been an eventful few days.
And I will also double check with the crew how long have we actually been gone, because we don't know how long we were unconscious for.
Taking first watch if that's alright with the party.
I'll also take first watch.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, roll either individual advantage perception checks or one person roll.
You can roll.
Oh.
By the way,
Big.
during my watch, you guys see Celadrin focusing more on watching Ilona than watching the surroundings. Like, Celadrin is keeping a very close eye on Ilona.
While this first watch is going on, I know it probably doesn't mean much, but I'll go around and do an inventory below deck. So I'm not up there.
Sure.
Whatever's going on.
25 DM.
Pretty good. Throughout the course of your watch, Umbra, you do hear sounds of creatures coming up against this new barrier, seeing it and sounding kind of curious, then dismissing it and going back into the forest. You are unsure what types of creatures they were. It was various snuffling and snarling and slithering sounds, much like anything you've seen on this island.
Would I have thought Celadrin viewing Ilona as intently as he described?
I mean, are you being obvious about it, Zeldrin, or trying to hide it?
I mean, I don't know, he's being pretty obvious. He's not really trying to hide it. Like, he's pretty much just watching Ilona and, like, unconsciously twirling his daggers. Like, he's obviously not paying attention to the surroundings. He's definitely obviously more focused on Ilona than the surroundings.
Just go ahead and roll a perception check for me, Celadrin.
Ah,
I want to see if you notice something.
17.
17, that's enough. Emily, would you like to describe what Celadrin sees now that you're not wearing your armor?
I guess on like her exposed skin, more like her upper arms and like her chest and everything, she has like all these scars. Some are like still kind of fresh and some are a bit older. And I think from what you've seen Ilona write down, you could probably tell they were infernal. Yeah, some of them are still kind of open wounds as well, or scabbed over. But she's just got her like arms over her knees, and she's just like hiding her eyes from the night and the moon and everything. She isn't paying attention to you watching her.
Okay. Yeah, Celadrin's gonna see the wounds, but he's not gonna act on them. He's just gonna continue watching.
Fair enough.
Would it be right if I came and pat Celadrin on the back?
I mean, I can't stop you.
Oh no, I'm just asking. I'm asking DM in case there's any points that we need to.
Sure,
sorry.
you can do that, yeah.
I'll pat Celadrin on the back as he seems deep in thought. Celadrin, what's got you worried, buddy?
I'm not worried. I merely have understood that trusting can be a dangerous thing.
Well, you're not wrong there. Of course, building new trust is always a how you put it, tricky endeavor. Where are you going?
Yes, I'm just gonna hum to himself and then go quiet again. And he's not gonna speak for the rest of the night.
You're going that well. Well, old friend, if you would like to talk, as the two, let's say, closest people on this ship, happy to talk about it later. especially what you experienced while with that cell, with that woman. Should be interesting. I'll pat him on the back again, and I'll keep him walking.
Alrighty. Your watch concludes with nothing of note happening. Who's taking second watch?
Thimble would like to.
I will as well.
The immediacy. Alrighty. In that case, roll your perception checks.
These two should not be on Thingo together. This is gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be really funny.
You should.
This is gonna suck ass.
Did you roll with advantage, Henry?
Oh, I did not roll with advantage.
I'm glad it was advantage.
Wow, that's crazy. At advantage, I rolled a 9 still.
Oh, that's
Big money.
awful.
Big money.
Somehow, Tarvis, you have better vision than Thimble. That's kind of wild. Again, nothing really
It's
of note.
the furthering of my agency ability.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm aware of.
Wow,
fluctuations,
Tarvis, you're so
yeah.
good at looking today.
It's been a day.
It is. It has been. We should go sit by Ilona. She might be feeling lonely.
That's if she wants us there.
Hey, I'm sure she'd like us to be there. She needs support during this time.
Is that what you're going to offer her?
Well, that's the plan. I brought a hairbrush and some food.
Right. So I guess we're both walking over to.
It's an interesting visual, Thimble carrying a hairbrush that's the same size as him.
I'm not even gonna help him either. I'll carry the food.
He's actually just dragging it between his legs while he's flying, and it looks like it's like really hard for him to do. But he's certainly doing it.
Oh, it's certainly a sight. It's quite amusing to you.
I guess as I get closer, they'd see the same thing on Ilona's body.
Is this what your mother did to you?
Yep.
I'll give her the food.
I'm not
Look,
very hungry.
you need to eat, Ilona.
I brought a hairbrush. Would you like us to brush your hair or something?
That's okay.
I still got blood in it though.
I'm not feeling like I should look prim and proper at the moment.
That's a shame. You look so pretty.
Thank you, Thimble.
Look, I guess you had to make a choice no one should have had to make.
I just figured you only just got your freedom. Didn't want you to be trapped again.
And what part of me saying I owed you and was gonna help you? Didn't you hear or did you forget when you chose not to tell anyone?
I didn't want anybody to get hurt because of me. But I guess that bit me in the ass, right?
It was always your mother's fault, Ilona. Look, I'm not happy that you didn't tell anyone else. But at the end of the day, it is not your fault.
I appreciate it, but I can't pretend like it wasn't my choice. There are things that aren't my fault, but this was. I decided to ignore a risk because I felt guilty about Valis and that I had saved you before I had saved him. But I guess he knows now where my loyalties lie, so I doubt he'll be happy to see me again. Oh,
Look, we can cross that bridge when we come to it. But
I think he should understand. You know, it hasn't been easy for you either.
if anything, if Sora's anything, even a fraction of what Ilona's told us, I would agree with you that it's been tough for both you and Valis.
I didn't know he was going to propose to me.
Again, this is all comes back to your mother, doesn't it?
I just wish I had just put up with whatever she had planned for me in the Hells. I would have saved so many people a lot of hurt. But I chose myself, and I have to live with that. And now I have to pay the price.
Oh, we can't just look. Do you still want to save Valis?
Of course.
Because we
I
also need. Sorry.
I tried to ask Corpusen for help. Um I offered myself for him to save you and Valis. And he was completely silent.
Do you think maybe he just didn't want you to throw your life away?
I honestly don't really care what he wanted. It was the first time I wanted to make a choice for myself. And what I wanted was to save you and to save Valis, and he wouldn't let me. He betrayed me, and I have no interest in going back to him.
Maybe he couldn't help.
He would make this moon sparkle brighter if I asked him, but he couldn't help me with something real.
I don't think it's as simple as that. I think he has something that he's allowed to do. And there's things he's not allowed to do. Maybe it's fate. Some things have to happen.
I can't believe that. Otherwise,
Hmm.
nothing means nothing. Everything would have no meaning then if it's all fate. Just sit around and it would still happen. What is the point of a god if they cannot help you? And if you devote yourself to them, if they don't even give you a hand in your darkest moment? I thought that was the point. That you could turn to them no matter what. I begged him. I begged him to help me. He didn't even say anything. If it was because he didn't want me to die, well, he's a coward. He should have just said that to me.
Hmm. Do you help the ants that you step on?
What?
The ants.
Then
There are
we'll.
ants everywhere. And sometimes, not on purpose, we get in their way. We knock the pheromones away. And that means they don't know their way back. Maybe this is something that is like that. Someone's accidentally knocked our pheromones away. We've lost our track. We'll find it again.
Something seems different about you, Thimble.
I think things have become real. That's all it is.
Why didn't you go with him?
I don't think they want me home just yet.
And
But,
Otherwise, they would have come for me.
but
And
why
you
would they
seem-
want you here? With us and not with...
Oh, they don't care about Barrett. Barrett's property.
Vareth is not property.
No. No, he is. He ate
He's
the food.
definitely not.
Thimble. He's not.
Take it back.
It's hard to hear, but our cultures are different. There's
Give a
nothing wrong with
shit.
that.
He's no one's
He'll
property.
serve
He
his
was a
time.
child. He was just a kid.
Age isn't that straightforward. There are kids in charge in the Feywild.
But he's not of the Feywild.
How do
Family.
you know that? Did you know? Long ago, there was a specific group of people who lived in the Feywilds. Those people would become known as elves. Do you think they care about their age? Do you think they follow your rules? It's not always the same from place to place. Sometimes it's different. We hear many stories from many places. It's not always the same.
I don't think I would want to be in a place that would keep a child because they wanted to eat some food. That's wrong and it's barbaric. I don't care what your culture is. Vareth was innocent.
And you're awfully jovial, Thimble, for someone who...
Yeah, why the fuck are you happy?
Who said I'm happy?
You're certainly not acting any other way.
And how am I meant to change that?
Ilona,
Do you
let's
assume I
blood
open?
out of
Do you
your
assume I
hand.
open a portal? Do you think I wouldn't already? I was taken from my home, Ilona, as a child, and forced to stay here for months. Did any of you speak up? Did one of you fucking say it was wrong for him to take me? No. I've been stuck here without my fucking parents. You don't even listen to me half the fucking time. I'm sitting on top of your horns, you don't listen to my fucking... What do you expect me to do? Keitho is not my master or anything related to my pedoir. I'm fucking stuck here with you fucking idiots. Oh no, woe is me. Everything's going wrong at the moment. No, it's been going wrong from the fucking start. You've left a fucking child. You had Varys, and you kept bringing him into danger. He almost died 3 times. I'm one of the only people who's actually been looking out for him. Every time he's been attacked recently, no one's cared. You've helped him 3 times, Ilona. Once in the fight where we all fought together. Then in the fight where the big bad guy was here and he had his stupid axe. And one other time where you healed him. Every other time he's back at the front having a panic attack. And you either tell him, oh, it's okay, deal with it. We'll do it afterwards. You have to fight now. You have to fight. Be as upset as you want. You've inducted your culture onto him as much as I've inducted my culture onto him. I'm sorry, but I
need you
cannot
to
get
the
upset.
fuck away from me, Thimble.
He's just gonna up and leave.
Hey, look, if you want to go back to... If you don't want to spend the night on deck, I'm fine unlocking you if you want.
No, I'm staying here. But as someone who just had a evil son of a bitch in their head, there's more happening with Thimble.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm supposed to keep everybody alive all the time. Why is it up to me? I don't see you guys running around healing each other every turn. Know how exhausted I am? One of you goes down. It's Ilona didn't get there fast enough. Someone's hurt. It's like, Ilona, I need healing. As if I'm not getting a beat down and I'm not surrounded. I've tried so hard for months to keep everyone alive, and I have failed, and I know I have. But it's not my fault everyone keeps walking into danger. I didn't even. I just wanted to get Valis, and I wanted to take him home. That was all I signed up to do.
I sort of understand, Ilona. When I looked off long years ago, when I was just me looking after Eris, I had a similar feeling. Making sure that she was fed and still breathing the next morning. I know it's not the same, but look, we signed up to this knowing there would be danger, and we are incredibly grateful to you for keeping us alive.
I don't think I can do it anymore. I don't have whatever it was Oberson was giving me. I always said you guys should find another healer, another cleric. I think that time is now.
We're not getting rid of you, Ilona.
I have nothing to give. Look at me. Look at my skin. I barely know where I am. I went to sleep in Ravenwater, and all I've felt is pain and torment for months. I don't have any more fight. I have no god. I have no family. I am alone. And she's won, and there's nothing I can do anymore. Half the party hates me, the other half pity me. No one's willing to admit that it was actually all my fault. I need to find another cleric at the next port.
Ilona, you still have me. You still have the rest of the party. Yes, it hurt that you didn't tell us, but I can't speak for everyone, but I know I'm not mad. I don't blame you for what Selva did. Yes, I wish you would have talked to someone. But look, I'll bring you a blanket, but please just sleep on it. We won't be getting rid of you.
She doesn't say anything.
I'll go and grab her a blanket so she's not freezing on deck.
She uses it to cover her head from the moon, which I don't even know what phase is it in. Apparently, it's almost a full moon.
That makes sense.
Thematic timing.
Oh no, it was just the full moon actually.
Again, that does make sense. Thematic timing's pretty good.
It'll be a big blanket, so if you just put it over your head, it's basically covering your time. Right. I guess that will end my watch.
Third and final watch. Who would like to take it?
I'll take it.
Would you like either Darren or Xander with you?
I don't mind.
We'll chuck Xander with you. He's probably going to be the one more likely to do that.
Cool.
Alright, perception check from you, sir, with advantage.
Advantage. That one. 17 out of 20.
That's not bad. Both of you are gazing into the night. You hear the shuffling movements of creatures in the undergrowth, but nothing climbs over the barriers that Umbra made. And as the sun dawns, it's a new day. Everyone can take their long rest. Now, unless anyone has any other roleplay they'd like to do here, we can, for the sake of expediency, say that for the rest of the day the crew is working on the ship, getting it seaworthy and ready to go. Is there anything anyone would like to do before we leave this unnamed island?
Would it
Not really.
would it be okay, just for the sake of story, Umbra's taken up Vareth's cooking, well, when he's roped in a few of the let's say more dexterous members of the crew
Sure,
to start getting a bit of a cooking detail going.
sure.
And I would have just enhanced the barriers as throughout the day.
Sure, easy enough. And as the tide is going out, the boat sets sail. The sun going down to the horizon. You've spent the entire day here, but you're finally back out to sea.
Yeah.
Now it'll take you the better part of a week to get to your next stop. We'll say it takes 6 days. In that time, is there anything you would like to be doing?
Thimble's just in the garden, gardening, doing the stuff that Barrett used to do. He's gonna try and talk to Celadrin at some point.
Training with Xander for me.
Alright.
Yeah, a few days in, Sergeant's also going to talk to Ilona.
Alright, we'll go in order of who spoke up first. Thimble.
What's Celadrin doing this time?
I mean, he's spending most of his days just on deck, keeping watch over Ilona.
Halfway through one of your watches, you feel a light foot land on your shoulder, and a polite but like urgent, Celadrin.
Yes, Thimble?
How are you, Cel?
Alright. I look at him slightly distrustful because they haven't really talked at all up until now.
I'm missing Vareth.
Alright.
You're the closest thing to Vareth.
How do you...
Are you missing him?
How do you mean that?
I mean, you guys were friends, right?
I suppose.
We were friends. I miss him. Do you reckon we should go after him as soon as possible?
I mean... Yeah. I feel the party would benefit with him. And if we are facing beings like Saura, we probably need every advantage we can get.
Yeah. Do you know of a closer portal near here than the one in
I've-
Chasmmire?
No?
Just trying to think of one where one might be.
I'm sure if we ask around, once we arrive at port, we should be able to find one.
Maybe. I'm afraid that we might lose the way, though. I have a feeling that there's not really going to be anyone who knows about what we're looking for.
Well, we'll find a way then.
Do you reckon that it might be an idea to look by ourselves, maybe?
By ourselves? What do you mean?
I don't trust Umbra. Because Vareth
Okay.
didn't trust Umbra. And he did let me know that there was another deal that took place.
A deal? What deal?
I don't know. He just said there was a deal.
I believe we can have a quick look around, but I would prefer if we do not do anything that would cause any more disruptions to the group. Because we've seen what happened the last time one of us decided to go solo.
That is true. Well, we'll look into it. Thank you for listening to me. Everyone's
It
been
is
mad
alright.
since the other night.
There's a lot of hostility and questionable intentions going around in the group, and we might at one point have to sort out whose alliance is with who. Tell me, Thimble, with who is your alliance?
Honestly, I like Ilona still. She's nice. She was one of the only nice ones to me. But she doesn't seem to like me that much. Do you reckon we'd be able to understand their culture? I feel confused by it all.
I do not know. They have a very different culture to mine, and I assume yours is even more different. It is simply a question of adaptation, I suppose. The question is, are you going to adapt, or are they going to adapt?
I just want them to understand. I don't think Vareth meant anything wrong by taking me. He just needed someone who knew the way. And he needed someone to rely on. It did hurt, of course, but... yeah. And he just sits there in silence.
Let's see how this ends. And then Children just goes back to watching Ilona.
Alrighty. Tarvis, you were training with Xander, is that right?
Yeah. That doesn't have to be an RP.
No, I know what you're working for, and I'll use it as a what Xander's working towards as well. So he's going to be training using either his great weapons and a dagger in his offhand. Celdrin, you said you had some stuff to do. Was that covered in your chat to Thim?
No, I want to talk to Ilona.
Okay.
If possible, at nighttime when I'm alone with her. If possible.
Sure. Let's say it's the night of your second day on the ocean.
Cool. Well, when everyone's asleep, Celdrin's gonna walk up to the mast where Ilona stood chained up and just look down at her and be like, are you were you really planning on killing me?
Of course not.
And how was I meant to know that? How much of what she said about me and about the others is true?
There were bits of truth in some of them, but I wouldn't have bothered healing you and being your friend for this long if I wanted to kill you.
Hmm. You know, in a way, also feel at fault for what happened because as much as I want to blame it on you, I I should have known something was wrong. It never, up until now, I never saw the signs, but looking back, there were differences, and I feel slightly responsible for not picking them up.
It's not your fault. She is a master manipulator. She would have had you under her spell. I saw what she was doing. She wasn't just talking nicely to you, she was weaving her way into your mind. You wouldn't have been able to help even if you wanted to.
Hmm.
I'm really sorry she did that to you.
It is alright. I suppose you got the worst end of the deal. Tell me, Ilona, what what do you want? I have been asking myself that for a while now, and aside from being Selva's daughter, aside from being a cleric of Orbison, aside from even being a member of this group, what do you actually want?
I. She takes a moment. I have no idea. Nobody has ever asked me what I want before. I have always just done what was expected, I guess.
Hmm. Okay, Cedrin's gonna sit down next to her, then and lean his back against the mast.
I guess
I
I went
see.
from being an archdevil's daughter to immediately being part of the shroud, and I had certain obligations there. I then went to Fjertund and found my father, and I had to take care of him to learn to be a cleric, and then Valis was taken, and I immediately joined this party. So, I don't know. I
I
thought
see.
I thought I wanted to be a cleric of Orbison, but I don't think I want that.
See, you know, when I joined this group, I never really understood what you guys had because where I come from, friendship and companionship is more business, more. There was no place for happiness where I came from. And you've shown me a way that I have found a friend for the first time in years. And how can I repay you for that?
There's nothing to repay. If anything, I owe you a lot more.
Hmm. You know, funny how these things turn out, isn't it? How we ended up in this position from where we started.
Do you think you'd be here?
I mean, if I had done my job all those years ago, I would probably be back in at the Drow with the dead Umbra.
True. I guess there's one somewhat positive thing that's come out of this.
Very true. At least we have averted that fate.
There's one other thing. You
Hmm.
you now know what the most magnificent horns in all the realms looks like.
You know, this may be personal opinion, but I think yours are better.
Thank you. That doesn't mean you have to kill me and take my horns, though, right?
No, no, the contract sadly doesn't care about personal opinions.
Okay, good. Yeah. Um,
Anyway, and Sergeant's gonna stand back up and leave a dagger next to Ilona and be like, what your fate is only something you can decide, Ilona. If you know, if you want to go back to the hells, then you can use the dagger. If you want to be free of the chains that hold you, you can also use the dagger. Or you can sit there and wait until someone else solves your problems. And then Sergeant would disappear back under deck to get some rest.
Which of your daggers did you leave?
Sorry, I forgot its name. I left Tuck, so the lightning one.
Alright.
I guess Ilona will pick up the dagger and just kind of hold it in her hand for a second. And for a moment, she kind of like aims it at her heart. And then she stops and she unlocks herself.
Alright. Now, did anyone want to do anything else during this boat journey?
And I make it
Training.
known.
What was that, Steve?
Can I make it known that over the course of the journey, while Umber appears to be a bit happier than usual, everywhere he walks there seems to be a bit of discoloration to the deck boards. Some of the deck seems to just be a little bit changing, and some of the garden seems to just like overly expand, but then rot away and wilt away very quickly. So that's okay.
Yeah.
And then he'll just be gone.
There is a team of deck swabs every day, so you don't unnecessarily break the ship, but the effect does still occur. Alrighty. Well,
Sorry, just the next morning, can I just give Celadrin his dagger back?
Yeah, thank you. And I'm just gonna turn to Ilona and be like, wise choice. And then, continue with whatever the hell I was doing.
alright. For the sake of story, unless anyone's got anything they're doing, we'll just say now is the time in which you reach your final port stop before reaching the continent of Chasmmire. Now, is there anything anyone wants to do while docked? If not, it's just a simple resupply and continue on.
Yeah, I guess I'll just head off the resupply.
Thimble will go with him.
Darren will accompany and find the nearest tavern.
Oh my god,
Always.
Darren, are you actually going out to perform?
Dear God. By the gods.
Dear God! I don't
Hey.
believe in the gods, but dear God!
I'm going out to perform. About time that I bloody do something like that. And he heads into the
I'll see if I
nearest
can get
tavern.
everyone from the boat to join you.
He smiles. He was like,
Oh.
"Alright, hopefully we see them soon." And pulls out his lute and starts playing the most lively piece he knows as he walks through the door. I'm gonna roll a quick performance check for him. Hey, that's a 24.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a bit of money for that. money attained. If you guys all want to join Darren while he's performing, you're welcome to.
Is there any churches on this port?
There are a couple, mostly to Mariana, Typhoon, and other natural event.
Is there like a small Orbison one or something?
It's a very, very quiet, small, basically just a shrine in a small building. Nothing too crazy.
Ilona's gonna go to it, but we can do the resupply first if you want, or whatever else.
I mean, I'll just organize the crew with the resupply. It doesn't have to be anyone else.
Sure.
That's my job.
By the way, Reese, above table, right? You know those crew members who died? We never did, you know, we never looted them, right? So we couldn't get our money back that we paid them.
That is correct. You never said you had looted them. Plus, you never
Okay.
really found their bodies.
Okay, yeah, okay, just double checking. Cool.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, Ilona, you go into the shrine.
I don't even want her to go in. I just want her to stand up the front and just like stand there like for an hour, just kind of like just looking at it.
Does anyone notice this while they're walking past, to and from getting supplies?
This is completely out of the way from that, so nobody from the ship or crew would notice this. You might notice Ilona's not necessarily there currently, but nobody notices what she's doing.
After the hour, she just heads back to the boat.
Alright. For those who are in the tavern, Darren is playing up a storm. He is in very good form tonight, doing his bard thing. He ends up making a total of 15 gold from tips alone. Earns anyone who's joining him a meal and some drink, and made the bar a nice, lively scene. And there's a certain aura around him if you know how to look. We'll pick up the next day. Ship is resupplied. Everyone's feeling good from a nice night out. Time to set sail. It'll take you another 3.5 days to get to the port in Chorus.
Yep.
Still training.
When we
on
get
the
back
ship?
on the boat,
There you go.
when we get back on the boat, could I ask for Ilona's help with something? Hey, Ilona,
She
I need
just walks
some-
off.
I need some help with his stuff.
She doesn't do
Hmm.
anything.
Fair enough.
Tarvis, I assume you're still training with Xander?
Yes, and at night, Tarvis will also be practicing because he actually has magic again.
Let's go. How many spell slots you got now? 2?
Yeah, 2 level 1 spell slots.
Let's go!
Man.
Fantastic.
Hey, but I have I also have what's it? Another 2. Actually, has that? No. Wait, I might be able to grab another cantrip. No, I can't. Don't worry. I also have another 2 cantrips.
Okay, cool. Alright. If anyone has anything to do over the next 3.5 days of boat travel, now is the time to speak up.
I'm slightly on edge, just kind of shuffling it about, thinking about what's going to happen, in a sense.
Can
Not
I
knowing.
go to Alfie?
Hmm.
Alfie, can I do you have the art they asked you to do?
Oh, yeah, of course. One moment. Ducks into his quarters and comes out with this gigantic mural picture that is exactly what you had asked for, and the quality of the painting itself is gorgeous. And he looks a bit nervous and says, I hope you like it, and hands it to you awkwardly.
It's fantastic.
Really? You
You're
think so?
savant. I think once we get to chorus, maybe you could join the art scene there.
There is a performance and arts academy there. I've been wanting to go for a long time. I just never had the money.
Well, my friend Connell that we're going to meet, he's a painter, and he's currently there.
Really?
I could pay for you to go.
Oh, you don't have to.
I want to. Really.
Are you sure?
Of course.
And his face
It's been enough on the boat.
His face brightens up. And can I hug you?
If you want, yeah.
And he wraps you in this big bear hug. And he's squeezing you pretty tight. You can tell he's pretty wrapped about the news. And he lets you go after a second. He's like, I'm gonna be an artist. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna do things. Thank you.
It's okay. You have a gift.
And he excitedly darts off back to his room to work on a portfolio.
At some point, also, can I talk to Ilona?
Sure.
Hey, Ilona, just can I ask something if you're feeling up to it?
Sure.
Would you be able to send Eris a message if possible?
I can try, but I don't know if I have any of my magic anymore.
It's okay if you can't. Just if you
I
can,
can-
I'd just like her to know that we're
I can
still
try,
alive.
but please don't be disappointed if it doesn't work.
I won't be. It's
I'm
also
going.
good to see you actually up and smiling a little bit now.
Thanks. I'm gonna try to use sending.
Interestingly enough, it does work, but it feels incredibly different. Roll an Arcana check for me. I want to say something.
Sorry, I'm using my iPad. Give me a second.
You're good.
That's not it. Arcana. A 10.
That's enough. Previously, when you were casting spells, it felt like you were calling on the power of something larger than yourself. When you go to cast Sending, you feel your limbs grow cold, and you realize this power is not coming from outside of yourself anymore. This power is drawn from you.
Okay.
As she's casting the spell
Okay.
Tarvis, you see her eyes turn purple.
Ilona, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I think I can do this though. Okay. Hi, Eris. It's Ilona. Um, just wanted you to know, Tarvis and I are doing great. Nothing of note here. Hope you are well. Bye.
The reply comes back a little out of breath. That's great. Surprised to hear your voice. When will we see you again?
I will cast it again. What do you mean, surprised to hear my voice? Question mark? I'm not sure when you'll see us again. Time is weird. I'll keep you updated.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know you could send messages with your mind.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Well, Tarvis, she is good. She wants us to get back to hers. Soon as possible, it seems. Why are you looking at me like that?
Your eyes changed to purple.
Are they still purple?
Are they?
Just her irises. What used to be pure white eyes now have purple irises.
They're still a little purple.
Bull. I don't have purple eyes.
Can I just pull out like something reflective so I can
Yeah, easy enough.
like a dagger or something and just like show the reflection in the blade?
Easy enough.
Oh my god. Would you believe me if I said this isn't the first time this has happened?
Honestly, yeah, I'd believe you. A lot's happened with you, so
Weird. I
yeah.
don't really know what's going on.
Well, remember, talk to us, talk to me if anything, if you need to. I'll get. And
Okay.
thanks for sending the message to Eris. And I'll give her a quick hug before I go off and keep doing the quartermaster job of running the damn ship.
Fair enough.
It's just like, what? 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 I guess Ilona will do some stuff around the ship as well. She's the carpenter, right?
She
She's
is
gonna plug some
indeed.
holes.
Alright. Easy enough to do. You guys go off and fulfill the various roles on the ship that you have. Does anyone else have anything to do while we're still on the water?
Not
I'm-
really.
Yeah, I'm right. Do you happen to have a cloak with a hood at all?
Hood, plain hood, hood that
Just-
I'm wearing.
Just something plain. If you've got a spare one, I would appreciate it. But just being away from Skeldervik, I'm feeling a little bit out of depth, and I just want to be a little bit. What's what I'm looking for?
Conspicuous, secretive, hidden.
Just a little hidden, yeah. Just so I get to know the place a little bit better.
That? I'll bring one up to you. I have one in my cabin.
I appreciate it.
Right. No worries, my friend. No worries at all.
I just proceed to walk off.
Oh,
Just sorry.
oh, as you walk off. Oh, Zolda. What day is it? How many days have we been at sea?
I've lost count.
Interesting.
Do you happen to know?
No, no. No, I lost track a while ago. How's the garden doing?
Thimble's attending to it, so I think it should be alright.
Temple should be able to do that at least. Oh, I will go find a book for you, Zoltan. Don't worry, it should be fine.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Wonderful. I PM.
Hmm.
After disappearing for essentially 2.5 days, just on the night of the third day, I walk up the deck. Is there anyone there?
I mean, apart from just general crew, is anyone else on the deck at the time?
Thimble would be.
I would be up there doing magic practice.
Interesting, Ilona is not on deck at night.
Ah,
Not exchanges and just short period of time. Where is the... You're on deck, Thimble. I'll walk to you. Thimble, where are you?
Can I
Are you
roll
around?
either a stealth check or an insight check?
Oh, what do you want to do? Do you want to discern his motive, or do you want to hide?
Well, Thimble knows Umbra from before, and the fact he's kind of been watching him makes him know that he's forgotten the day he's become reclusive, and certain things are happening. So I think he's like seeing if he's in trouble or not.
Okay, roll an insight check, and then depending on the answer, then you roll a stealth check.
That's a 21.
Umbra, can he read your motive?
Do I need to roll, or I'm just going to be upfront with this?
It's a 21, so he can read it pretty well, unless you want to roll a deception check to try to hide your motives.
That's fine. So, he's not hiding the fact that he's looking for Thimble specifically. But also, there isn't any ill intent. There's intent, but not ill intent. It seems methodical, but also chaotic.
He's gonna hide in the tomato bushes.
Because of your size, I'm going to say you had an advantage on this.
doesn't Thimble also glow?
That's true, and it is nighttime. Straight roll.
That's 22.
Roll a perception. No, investigation check, Umbra.
Well, this is pretty fun. 11.
You can't seem to find him.
Can hide from now, but we will have to hunt the fish. And I'm just going, and you'll see Umbra just slowly patrolling and creaking, like as it floorboards creak and just a bit of extra. He just walks around the ship, pacing, looking up into nothing, and just seeing. Like, seems like he's talking to himself, or his eyes just flitter to random corners of the ship. He's just keeps walking past. He'll go past the garden, but not pay it any mind outside of just looking at the plants and seeing if they're okay. keep walking. And the minute that dawn starts to come, he goes back to his room, leaving a trail of just on the floorboards as described before. And I'll find you.
Alrighty. Around midday of the third day of your voyage, you spy the docks. They're full of ships of designs you've never seen. Some of you, at least. Large triangular rigged vessels that they almost look like they're in the shape of a wing, the way they're positioned. And you can tell these boats would have a higher top speed than the boat you're currently driving, in want of a better word. Coming into the dock, you struggle to find a space to dock your ship. After about 10 minutes or so, you do find a suitable spot, dock the ship, and step aboard a new continent. Welcome, everyone, to Chasmmire. Standing on the dock, smiling, is a familiar figure to you, Ilona.
Is it Connell?
Hello, Ilona. It's been a long time.
She just squeals and runs to hug him, rowing herself into a hug.
He hugs her back quite warmly. He's like, "Jeez, you've gotten strong since last time I saw you."
You! What happened to your muscles?
Well, you know, I'm a painter now. I don't need to be big and strong.
But, gosh. What would the others say?
The others can say what they like. I'm doing what makes me happy.
I'm glad. I know you wanted this for such a long time.
Come on, I'll show you my studio.
Oh, just before, these are my friends and crew, and I also have someone else for you to meet a little bit later, but, yeah, this is them, and then I'll introduce them all.
He nods at each of you in turn as you're introduced and says, "For those who don't know, my name is Connell. I was a member of the Shroud for many years, including when this one here," and he elbows Ilona in the ribs, "just popped out of a portal one day and frightened the absolute heck out of all of us."
It was, an interesting, day for all of us, I think.
Certainly was.
But, I'm very excited to see where you live now.
"Yeah, come on, follow me." And he leads you through the hustle and bustle of a city larger than any you've seen in Skjeldavik. In Fjerten, sorry. Larger even than Skjeldavik, on by 2-3 times. It is huge. The architecture seems to be made of this white stone-like material that some of you recognize to be marble in various pillared constructions, and it's got gold leaf trim. The structures here are beautiful in a way that you've never seen, for some of you. Connell leads you through the streets. There are aqueducts everywhere, and eventually they stop at a nondescript small building. It's nice enough, but certainly not one of means. And he opens the door. "Welcome to my humble abode."
It's nice.
Yeah, it's not too bad, does the job. I mean, you know me, I don't need anything fancy.
I was so surprised when you told me that you had left to do art. I mean, what did the others say? What are they doing?
Well, Ian is here somewhere. We haven't spoken in a little bit, but her and the kid, they're around. The
What
others,
about Bella?
and you see his expression darken.
What happened?
Look, when we got your letter, things went wrong. One of us, and I won't name names because no one deserves any blame here, got a little carried away and went to try and close the portal once and for all. Bella stepped in and saved him, but in doing so, he didn't make it out.
What? So what of the Shroud? What of Nim? What of Taryn? What of Garrick?
They're all still with the Wildwood Sentinels. Look, it's not been the same since Valis went, and this was kind of the final straw. I don't know how any of them will continue doing what they're doing without them.
My God. I'm so sorry.
No need to
I really-
apologize. You're okay.
Well, I guess the long-term plan is we're going to go and get Valis back eventually.
Fantastic. Do you know where you're going? Last I heard, you didn't have any real news about that.
I think it will take some time to figure out exactly where he is, but I'm confident that we can get him back.
Well,
But I think he'll need you when that happens. I mean, you guys have been best friends forever.
I've got a spare room for him all set up, ready to go should he need it. But if you guys need a hand getting him back, I'm sure me and the boys would gladly take up arms again to help you out.
I'll let you know. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I brought someone named Alfie. He's a wonderful artist, and I show him the portrait. I thought maybe you could get him talking to some of the teachers and maybe apply.
This is amazing work. Wow, the strokes here are fantastic. Yeah, I've got a couple of contacts I can get in touch with. Probably the one who'd be easiest to get in contact would be probably Ragnak, though he's more in the music department sort of thing. But he could get in contact with the others and we could sort out something.
Sounds great. I'm sure he'll be so excited.
Yeah, I'll bring Ragnak by tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, yeah, if you want to properly meet everybody, I guess now's a good chance.
Yes, absolutely. You, Tarvis, was it?
Yes.
Now, I've heard the name before, obviously. What's your story?
A long one.
Big question?
Yeah, it's a. I know Ilona trusts you, but I'm still a little bit on. It's still I've made some mistakes, and I'll leave it at that. And you'll like Robbie's sort of like the left where his brand is.
Connell comes to you
No.
and puts
Not being overly confident.
he puts a hand on your shoulder. We've all made mistakes, mate. Best to not live in the past. Move forward if you've resolved your trauma. We get it. Now, A dragon, man, I have not seen in a long time. Not since I was living amongst the Wildwood Sentinels. You said your name was Umra, is that right?
It is. Connell, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I've heard very highly of you. Through the excitance of Ilona as we came into port. So finally good to put a face to the name.
Oh, I'm glad she's got someone like you looking out for her, watching her back.
Oh, without a doubt. It's better to have the trusted allies around you to make sure everything works out fine.
Cool.
Now you mentioned Dragonborn,
Yes.
such as I. The Wildwood Sentinels. You have a contact with them, if I believe you said so.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I'm actually originally from the Wildwood Sentinels. My family's been there for 3-4 generations. Yeah, no, originally they were Dragonborn, and there are still quite a few around, just not as many as they were.
good to hear. If I could impose upon you, I know we just met, but an introduction, if you have some spare time in coming days, would be greatly appreciated.
Of course. We'll figure out a time when we can do that.
Thank you very much.
Alright. Who next? Now, you look like you were someone who was raised here, am I right? And he looks at Zoldan.
I mean, yes, but it's been a while.
Don't worry, I don't actually know anything about you. You just got that look to you. Keeping your eye on the streets. Good for you.
Okay.
Do you know anyone in town, or do you need a place to stay?
I mean, we can always find a tavern, right? I don't want to impose.
We got spare rooms. Come on. And he finishes his introductions with the rest of the party and shows everyone to their own individual rooms.
Quite beautiful.
Now, if any of you need anything, you just come to me. We'll get it all sorted for you. Though I can imagine you're a bit tired after... How long did you spend at sea? 2, 3, 4 months?
It was a while.
Yeah.
Longer than when I first went to Fjorton, that's for sure.
Look, it happens. And I'm looking forward to hearing all sorts of adventures from you once you've all had a good rest.
Theoden just pops up from the back being like, you don't want to know about Volcano Island with snake people. You don't want to know.
See, now that makes me want to know. That sounds like a good story.
Put what the parts to it. Should be a very good story to tell.
Well, I look forward to hearing... Darren's the bard, right? Yeah, looking forward to hearing Darren talk about it.
Do you know anywhere that I can find Ina?
Yeah. If you like, I can walk you there.
That would be great. None of you have to come if you don't want to. It's just, Ina's a really good friend of mine.
If you need your time, it's... Go, Tavis. You take this thing.
Oh, come on.
Alright. Well, whoever's coming, follow me. And he leads you all through the city streets as the sun is starting to set in the sky. Now, Ina's become a much better cook than last time you saw her.
Thank God.
So I'm sure she'd be able to rustle us up some food.
I am excited to see her kid. She was still pregnant the last time I saw her.
Oh yeah, that's right. You've been away for quite a while, so a lot's kind of happened.
Can see that.
Look, just so you're aware, not taken by surprise, her kid's name is Belson, named after Bellis.
Okay.
Just to kind of give you the heads up.
Okay.
After another 10 minutes, he stops and knocks on a door. Ina, it's Connell, and I brought you an old friend. The door opens, and there before you see Ina. And
Hi.
she just looks at you, dumbfounded. Hi. When did you get here?
Literally like a few hours ago.
Then she sweeps you up in a hug. It's so good to see you.
I missed you.
I missed you.
I'm so sorry.
Let's not talk about sad things tonight. Come in. And she leads you inside. It's a nice home. Moderately furnished. Modestly furnished. Nothing too crazy. And running around is a small child. Ilona, I would like you to meet Belson.
Ilona kneels down. Hey, I'm Ilona.
Belson looks up at you, eyes kind of wide. You're purple.
Observation. I'm glad you know your colors. Look at this guy. What color is he?
Who are you pointing to?
Tavis.
Kind of blue.
Good job.
And he just kind of snaps out of his reverie looking at you two and starts running around again.
He's very cute, Ina.
Yeah, he is. Now, what has happened to you since last we spoke? It's been a while.
Oh gosh. Where do I even start? I guess you know about the bad thing.
Valis?
But
Yeah.
yeah. I guess since then I've found myself on pretty intense adventure. These are who did actually come with me.
Tava's definitely.
Is that it? I think it was just Tavis.
Yeah. Sorry,
Solid.
Ah,
I didn't go.
It was just tough.
Just Tavis. Alright.
This is Tarvis. He's part of the group that I'm in. Tarvis, this is Ina.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And her grip is surprisingly firm as she shakes your hand.
Ina is an opera singer. She's excellent.
Oh, you brag.
I definitely do not.
Besides, it's been a while since I've performed, not since, Belson.
It's okay. But yeah, there's too much that has happened to put it all into a short, too long didn't read, you know?
Of course.
But I guess if it's okay with Connell, maybe you could come and have dinner with us.
Yeah,
And of course your little one.
Of course. Let me just track him down. And she runs through other rooms, and you hear Belson's little giggle as he's running away, and she's like, "I'm gonna get you." And finally, she walks out about 5 minutes later. Belson all dressed up nicely with a small little green cloak and she's got a green cloak wrapped around her shoulders. Alright, let's get going.
Cool.
You all head back to Connell's place and have a rather lively dinner with much discussion of previous events had. Drinks free flowing. It's a cheerful, while still solemn occasion. Through the course of the meal, Connell looks over at Darren and said, "Now, Darren, I can see that you play the lute, judging by the instrument over your shoulder there. My contact in the College of Arts also plays the lute and was an adventurer once upon a time. Actually, Ilona, you might have heard of this guy.
Yeah?
Ragnak used to adventure with Terrence once upon a time, actually.
Terrence?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah. I've never heard of him. We kind of ran into another one of his old party members when he tried to kill us, but it was just for fun.
Would that be Zolvor by any chance?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, that sounds like him. He was, from what I can gather from Ragnak, he's a right prick.
It's a little bit. He gave us this weird prophecy.
That sounds like him being all cryptid and stuff.
But I mean, we can definitely meet him.
It'd be good for him, I think.
Okay.
Now, because we are missing 2 group members, if there's any more roleplay you want to do, now is the time. Otherwise, I think that is actually a good place to stop before the introduction of new characters, just so that everyone can be here for that.
Nothing that I want to do
Good.
till like the next day in game. So I
Alright.
can wait.
Fine with me.
Would it be alright if I wandered off, like sneakily during the festivities? Gone for a walk.
Can I follow him invisible?
Yeah, are you being sneaky, Mr. Umbra?
I'm being.
It's come to night, hasn't it?
It is nighttime, yeah.
Mimicking similar behaviors to what was going on the boat. Is there a forest or any location around where it might be a bit secluded?
Not within easy walking distance. This city is huge.
Any dark alleys?
Oh, heaps of dark alleys, yeah.
Would it be alright if I just go set up in a dark alley for a little bit?
Yeah, of course. Thimble, you said you're following him. I can see you've cast a spell there.
I did cast a spell there.
Right,
Are
then
you trying to be
I will-
hard to track?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Roll some
pass
stealth
without
for me.
trace. Pass without trace and my cloak.
Roll some stealth for me.
I guess so. That would be 28.
28.
Can Thimble will track at 28.
I can really not track that, but survival or
If you're trying to follow his footsteps, go survival. If you're trying to follow him as he's sneaking around, it would be perception.
damn.
Nat 1.
Yeah,
To
not
your
happening.
eyes, Thimble, Umbra has vanished. You don't know where he's gone. He's just dipped.
Umbra, Umbra, Umbra.
And I think that's where we'll end it for today. Thank you guys so much for playing. It's been an interesting session, to say the least.
Yeah.
A lot's happened, a lot's been said. And we'll pick up at the next day with the introduction of a new NPC. Thanks
Nice.
for playing, guys, and thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.